Hello, welcome back. Long time no see. I wanted to make a video updating my modeling career and my experience so far. I was signed in August 25 with my mother agent, and that was really exciting. Such a huge goal of mine, and I'm so thankful. Happy tears that day, very dramatic. And then my very first video on this YouTube channel, it was a week later and I was going to my first casting. But there's been so many ups and downs. I've learned so much about myself in the industry, even though it's only 7 months in. So backtrack a little bit. I've been pretty much studying the modeling industry 3 years before I got signed. I attempted to get signed to an agency once a year, 3 years in a row. On the third year, I got signed with my agent, my mother agent. The number one thing is that you have to be proactive. You cannot expect people to just do everything for you and think that you don't have to put the work in or figure it out on your own. I've listened to all the model podcasts that you can think of. A really helpful one, in my opinion, is the Industry Talk with Brandon Andre. I've listened to every single one of his episodes. I think there's 30 or something, and all of them multiple times, some more than others. Even if the person he's interviewing doesn't apply to me, I'm like, what can I learn from this? There has to be something. So I've done lots of studying the last 3 years, and I always want to learn. I'm always thinking, what could I be doing better? What do I not know about that I should be knowing about? And so I had a good foundation to go off of, but once I was signed, I still didn't know anything really. I think a lot of models think this. As soon as you get signed, you think you're gonna just be working and making a lot of money, and that is the case for some models, but for most of them, it's not. So I've had lots of castings. Most of them are online now. You get a request to take a video of yourself and then submit them. And that in itself is a journey. I think a lot of going to castings and doing your self-tapes, it's really important to just do the best you can and learn from your mistakes and analyze. I did this casting, I submitted the video, I didn't get the job. It could be a million reasons why you didn't get the job, but I think it's really good to look at the casting and think, how could I have done this better? Could I have put more effort into it? Could I have been more prepared? And I just now recently started to connect the dots on that. Within the last 2 months, I was like, okay, I need to put actual good effort into my casting videos, make sure there's good lighting, make sure I take the best photos that I possibly can, make sure I say what I want to say or follow the directions to a T. And that's one of the things that I think led to booking my first job, finally. I just booked my first job this month, and it only took 7 months. But I'm super thankful, and I believe in divine timing. Everything happens the way it's supposed to. So I needed to learn. I needed to go through all the castings in the last 7 months and learn and build confidence. And so casting's very important for building confidence and learning from your mistakes and just being better every single casting. And what else? I think another reason why there's been so many ups and downs is because I would get so attached to an outcome of, I would get a casting for an insanely cool job or the best thing that I could ever dream of, and I would just get so in my head about it. And some things are just seem like they're way too good to be true. You don't even know that that's a possibility, and it's crazy that it's a possibility for other people. So it's just so cool. So being attached to the outcome is not good. You just build up so much unnecessary stress for no reason, and I feel like the job runs away from you if you want it too bad. But that's really hard if it's a job you really want. So recently, I've just been learning to let go and trust and do my best. If the job is for me, it's for me. good things take time. I don't want this to be an overnight success because it goes as fast as it comes. I want this to be a long-term career, right? So one other thing is I've kind of been like this since the start of getting signed, but I'm not always, but always in my agent's ear, kind of annoying, always asking questions, making sure that I'm doing everything that I possibly can. So getting enough sleep, working out consistently, fixing my diet, doing my skincare, networking, doing test shoots, taking constructive criticism. After every shoot, analyze it. How could I have done this better? But also appreciate the wins. Like, okay, I did really good at this. I need to do more of this. And asking for feedback, always asking for feedback. Because I've realized closed mouths don't get fed. I knew this. I worked a sales job in a call center. I know that if you want something, you have to make it known. Because I think in my experience, the models who show that they want it as a career and that they're willing to put in the work and they're on top of things and they're professional and they're able to take constructive criticism well and can learn from their mistakes are the ones who are going to be at the top of your agents' minds. So you're going to be submitted for more jobs, you're going to be given more attention. It's just how things go, in my opinion. What else? I also moved to LA, big milestone, from San Diego. I'm originally from Montana, but I moved to San Diego when I was 20. Got signed with the agency when I was 23. And then they told me that it's completely fine that I live in San Diego, but all the work is in LA. And that I could totally just commute back and forth. But I was doing that. I was basically going to LA once a week or every other week, every 3 weeks, whatever. And it just got really expensive because I had no friends here. So I had to book it Airbnb, gas. Sometimes I would last minute have to get my shifts covered at work, and it was just really stressful. And obviously, we'll do anything. I'll do my best efforts to make this happen for me. I don't want a reputation where I can't go to castings or I'm unable to accept jobs because I'm never available. I want to always be available. And so I knew this even when I was started to pursue modeling for real, June last year, when I started building my book and I knew I was going to start submitting to agencies soon. I knew in the back of my head, I was like, I'm moving to LA. I have to. That's where it's the land of opportunity. That's where everything happens. If you insert yourself in the place where everything happens, you're just bound to be more likely to have things work out for you. And so I knew I was going to move here, and I've always been an LA hater, but I know that this is where I'm supposed to be. It's just like intuitive. I knew it. I knew I was coming here. I just knew it. But what was I saying? My agent told me that I don't have to move to LA. I could totally stay in San Diego, but deep down, I just knew if I want this as a career and I want to go all in, I need to be inserted into the place where everything is happening. So I moved to LA after visiting home for 6 weeks, Montana. And after 6 weeks is way too long for being at home. Next time I'll probably stay for 3 weeks. But after I got back from Montana, mid-January, I got an Airbnb in Los Angeles. Had 3 days to find an apartment, only 3 days. I scoured the internet day and night and then on the 3rd day, I had tours back to back. But I found this place that I'm in right now. It's the cutest freaking studio ever. And I knew that this is where I was supposed to be even before I even toured it. I was like, this is perfect. Utilities are included. I have a backyard. My landlords are right next door, 2 old ladies that are so sweet and they watch over me, so it's perfect. And it's super safe, nice neighborhood. So yeah, I just felt like things were starting to fall into place when I moved in here. And I had a job right away because I transferred restaurant locations from the restaurant I was working at in San Diego to the one here. Super thankful I had income right away because it's super scary to like pay your paid deposit and first month's rent and then you're like, where'd my money go? But since moving here, I feel like energetically things are just bound to fall into place, and it just feels nice to be in the place where the things are happening. If I have a casting tomorrow morning last minute, I can just go there, no problem. I can go in for digitals whenever I want. It doesn't have to be a whole road trip. And if about that, I'm happy I'm here. I'm really thankful. I was planning on making this video last week. Well, it's been on my list to have a model career update video for a while in the last week or two. And I just was so ready to talk about how you just have to have faith and courage and self-belief. If you don't have self-belief, it's not gonna happen. That's 80% of the work. It's so crazy, but it feels like your internal world matters more than anything you could do in the outside. No matter how many test shoots you do, no matter how many castings you do, no matter how much networking or whatever, that could only get you so far. I feel like it's so much what's happening in your inner world, because when I tell you, I was in the most negative Nelly funk, not of my life, but I was like after crash out for 3 weeks straight. I would say end of January till mid-February. It's February 27th. So I just got out of this. I was just feeling so down and so like, oh my God, when are things gonna happen for me? And just so down bad. And I was just like way too in my head until something flipped and I knew I just needed a mindset shift, because whenever I get in these downward spirals of negativity, I just know I need a mindset switch, because I know it just happens just like that. It might, or like it's a little accumulative of events of you get reminders and then you get new perspective and then you wake up the next day and it feels like it's like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not having that mindset. I'm not a negative Nancy. That's not me. That's somebody else. So I had this flip of switch in mindset like a week or two ago. I'm serious, it was this soon ago. And I just started thinking, what the hell is wrong with me? I know I'm super lucky. I know that this is the path for me. I know that what I'm doing is the right thing. I just have a deep, intuitive feeling that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I do believe that things are working out, even though I can't see them in the world right in front of me. Things are happening behind the scenes. The people I work with are doing the best they can and putting in just as much work as me, if not more. And I just realized how lucky I am. And it's so scary when you forget what blessings you have. And I felt so much doubt in the last 7 months. It's like up and down. And it's kind of concerning, but it's part of the process. I think it's pretty normal when you take a leap of faith and you jump into your goals, and that's when you're in it and you're like, wait a minute, what did I just do? Am I really worthy of this? Is this even possible for me? And then don't even get me started on comparing yourself to other models or other career paths. Everybody says not to do it, but it's just inevitable, and it's just something that you have to learn to, you acknowledge and you get past and you realize this is a thing, and then you learn how you don't do that anymore and you just stay in your own lane. And like, it's actually crazy how when I was in these pockets of doubt, I would look at other models and be like look at them with like jealousy and envy, instead of like, oh my God, good for her, like I'm so excited for her, or like bursts of motivation because if she can do it, I can do it too. But when you're in this funk of doubt and negativity, it's just like, it just piles off of it bounces off of each other. And it's scary, and it's just like a feedback loop that you don't want to get into. It's not fun to be comparing yourself. It's not fun to look at a model and be like, oh, what does she have that I don't? Or look at a model and then look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I wish I had this about my body, or I wish I could do that. That's just a waste of time. You could be putting that energy into yourself and to your self-belief, and looking at those models that are doing so amazing, and realize that if they can do it, I can do it. But also, if they probably have put in so much mental energy and time and effort, and it looks like they're just extremely successful, it looks like they're an overnight success, but they probably started modeling when they were 16. If you're starting super late like me, 24, it can feel kind of sad. And I don't know. One last thing that I'm super proud of myself for, and I feel like this is just like motivation and or my life building to get ready for the success, is I finally gave up sugar. I've been addicted to sugar my entire life. Literally started drinking strawberry milk when I was 10 months old. And I've tried to quit sugar multiple times before. I'm talking about added sugar, not natural sugar. So like the fake stuff, artificial, whatever. And I quit January 1st because, again, I was in the doubtful mindset, and I was looking at other models. They are so beautiful, and they're getting so much work, and their skin is so glowy. I know for a fact that they do not eat sugar. So that was enough motivation for me. And I had sugar. I had a birthday cake on my birthday on February 15th. But I had no sugar before that. So a month and a half, 6 weeks. And then I've had like a couple sweet desserts since my birthday, but nothing like I had before. It's more, I basically had a tolerance break, like a habit break, and now I can just live a normal life without it. And it's easy now. But I'm really proud of myself for doing that. It could be another video, but lots of benefits from it. And being in shape is a major part of being successful, I feel like, unless you're a plus size model. But so that's something I try to prioritize the most because that's directly related to money. But anyways, that is my experience the past 7 months. Oh, I forgot to say, I have had interviews with international modeling agencies, but nothing has come of them yet, but we're in the right direction. I finally booked my first job. I'm super grateful. I was gonna make this video before, days before I even got booked, but yeah, it's been ups and downs, but I was having lots of faith before, and then I finally booked, and my confidence is just that much higher. I don't want to have external validation, but it's so good to feel like I am doing the right thing and this is the right path for me, and I just need to keep going. It's only going to get better from here. So yes, it has taken me almost 7 months to get my first job, but this is just my experience. I hope you can learn something from it. And if it were me, honestly, I'd be like, I'd rather get advice from a model who's booking jobs all the time, but sometimes it's good to hear the perspective of someone who's in the very beginning of things, because once you're way over here and you're a full-time model and making tons of money and you're trying to talk about your journey when it was first starting, it can sound like they're a little out of touch. But I hope this was helpful, and I will update in a month and see what happens. I feel like it's gonna be a good month. In 6 weeks, I'll update on my career and let you know how my first job went. And thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. Comment, subscribe. I don't know. Thanks for watching.